I don't really know what's the point of people appearing in front of camera and talking and sharing their ideas and trying to communicate their understanding of how things work. I mean, I do, but then if everybody does that, doesn't that get so cluttered and sort of, I don't know, that's probably an anti free speech kind of rant, but I guess if I just, take that idea further, I guess there has to be something in there of value that's worth exploring, but it's not for now. No. Like, I'm thinking and I'm trying to, express them and communicate them and articulate my thoughts and try to be clear and enunciate words to the best of my ability so that they are like not jumbled and confused. But then, who am I doing this for? That's the first question. Am I doing this to, I don't know. I've actually, thought about uploading this, like these kind of videos on YouTube, but then who's gonna watch this? I mean, is this video going to be of any help to anyone? Am I doing it? That's the other thing. Look, maybe you gotta be able to have this lens on that you're just going to be doing this for yourself and for your own understanding of phenomenons around you that are happening to you or for you, and to not expect anything else. I mean, I guess if I just, commit to this, and by this I mean this, if I commit to trying to be clear and honest about what is happening to me or around me, I would be slightly better to myself and then to people around me. So that objective in and of itself should justify doing anything like this that is not exactly directed to any other clear purposes, But maybe that's the only purpose that matters in anyone's life, to be able to sort of, get to know who they are and try to just, cast off all those deceiving and conniving things that you would partake in knowingly or unknowingly. And then I just don't see how that's not a worthwhile endeavor in and of itself. So that's why I'm trying to establish this sort of talking and going through what I find interesting and trying to unpack things, both things that are related to my life and also things that are out there and not directly related to my life but are of substantial significance that can be discussed and gone through. So, I mean, why am I trying to come up with so many reasons as to why I should be doing this. It's necessary. So, am I going to leave all these pauses? Probably yes. So, it's like, trying to find out where this is going to lead to. That's the problem. You never know where your adventures are going to take you. That thing you're going to find out down the road. Not now. Now, just get rid of the idea of trying to determine what it is that you are going to be engaged with in every step of the way. That's crippling you, like it's been crippling you for all these years. So you better just not try to figure that out prematurely and let the journey unfold. And saying that, I get flooded with all these kind of hypocritical thoughts or reminders that are just trying to remind me of all these previous times where I have sort of decided to turn my life around but didn't quite commit to anything. But that's sort of a set of information that could or is worth paying attention to, but it's not going to be in any way a hindrance toward or to like trying to do it once again, because come on, please. So what? You have decided to do all sorts of things all these times before, and you didn't quite get it. That's the point of life, You never know. You never know. Not that you never know, but you are going to constantly slide or wander off. You're going to wander off your path. And the point isn't that wandering off and getting hung up with all kinds of distractions, deceiving thoughts, and all these other things that are not aligned with who you are and who you could become. It's not that you should never do that or end up wandering off. It's like you should be able to just get back in line and try to walk this straight and narrow path. Straight and narrow path. For wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction or death. That's what Jesus said in Sermon on the Mount. So maybe you should be just, aiming at trying to, walk or ascend this stairway to heaven, which is quite narrow and straight. And its straightness has been conflated with being moralistic and right. That's the other fucking mistake that people make. You know what it is? When you hear this idea of trying to stick to this path which leads to life which is straight and narrow, people often mistake that with trying to stick with something that is quite restrictive, moralistic. You should take the right path in the sense that it is the only version of being right, or maybe you have sort of worked so hard to make your understanding of reality be the only version of the truth, and you are insisting upon that, and you are just tyrannically try to stave off or not be exposed to any other alternative versions of what reality seem to be hinting at, which constantly changes, and for that reason you need to be constantly aligning yourself with reality, and that's what hurtful and sort of painful and sort of quite discomforting. And if you really think about it, it's also adventurous and full of interesting things that could happen to you as a result of trying to tell the truth and align yourself with this straight and narrow path. In fact, the alternative, wandering off and trying to stick with that and doubling down on your tyrannical ways of interpreting the world, that is just not quite adventurous and spontaneous and rewarding, and all the other adjectives that I'm not really quite, how do you say that, conscious of as of now, but you get the point. So yeah, nothing else. I mean, there are so many other things that I would try to just, how do you say that, articulate, and there are a lot of other reasons, because that's the other thing, I have to, I mean, it's a sort of, approach to trying to make material or thought for your thinking brain. That's why I'm might be attempting to lay out some other reasons as to why I'm doing this, but then there's this other kind of idea that says if you want to, or if you look so hard for reasons to do something, then maybe that's just another kind of avoidance mechanism. But then I'm filming it, I'm recording it, I'm planning to upload it, so what kind of avoidance is that if it's just, if it gets uploaded and recorded? And yeah.